Hi guys, thought that I would take a minute and just see if there was anybody around. I don't know exactly I got to turn this one off. I know that. It's been a while since I've done anything live, so we'll get it all squared away. Maybe we will. Let's see. Let me pop this chat out instead of the other one, just in case somebody stops in and says hello. Yeah. I did have a little something that I was gonna. I don't know what happened to it, but we'll find it. Zero Hedge usually has something decent. Gosh, guys, looks like I couldn't even spell there for a second. Well, anyway, we're live, and I know somebody's going to stop in and say hello. They just got to. So we'll go from there. And while we're waiting, let's see what we can find on Zero Hedge. Now, we should be good to go here. And did go ahead and put Zoom up, just in case somebody wanted to stop in. And we'll see what happens. Mitchell Reese, how you doing, buddy? You're one person that I can always depend on no matter what's going on. Tell me, it's been a long time since I've done anything live, at least by myself. And tell me if it sounds okay and you can, I guess you can see me. I'm sure glad to see you, though. Hopefully we can get some people in here. Maybe we can do a little chit-chat. I think, if I'm not mistaken, Vern's coming on in about maybe an hour or something like that. We'll see what goes on in the meantime. I'm kind of concerned about this virus thing, just like everybody else is. And, I went to the grocery store yesterday. Didn't really want to, but I had some things that I needed to pick up. Thanks a million, Mitchell. I appreciate that. And anyway, I had these things to pick up. Not a lot, because we had tried about 3 weeks earlier. Hour and 10 minutes. Okay. Yeah. Well, a little luck. Maybe he'll come on here and I went ahead and started with Zoom so I could bring him in for a few minutes maybe before he starts too. And you're welcome to come in as well if you'd like. If you got the camera and the microphone, I can Zoom you right on in here. All you got to do is I will have to have your email address so I can send you an invitation though with Zoom. Anyway, like I said, we went to the grocery store yesterday, and I live in a small town about 40 miles west of Indianapolis. And, man, I'm telling you, these people they were just running around in Walmart like everything was just peachy. I couldn't believe it. And, me, I'm not going to call myself elderly, but I'm getting up there. Anyway, I'm wearing gloves, and because I don't want to touch this stuff after they did. It's kind of, kind of nasty if you ask me. I don't know what they did, and I don't know. But anyway, I'm the only one in the whole store wearing gloves. I'm going along. People are kind of looking at me like, yeah, what's wrong with this guy? All right, buddy. I hope you do get that one soon. All you got's a crud phone. Well, that's fine. I can bring you in on phone if you want to. I mean, if it works. But anyway, uh, what was I say? Oh yeah. These people are looking at me like I've lost my mind because I got these gloves on. And yesterday was one of the worst, I think, news days that we had had. You know, well, like we doubled in virus over the U.S. in like 48 hours or something like that. And one of the things that I've been dealing with is my kids. I got some kids running around here that are they're in their 40s. Hi, damn it! Thanks for stopping in, buddy. We got plenty of room in here so far. This is my first live stream in I don't know how long. I've got another channel too, guys. By the way, that I had been working on for about 3 years. And before that, I was on a show with about 6 other guys, and we did a show every week. It was called World of Live Streaming. I think they're taking a break right now. But anyway, my other channel is Micro Homesteaders. If you should happen to want to, I'll put it in here sometime. And but anyway, these people at Walmart yesterday. I'm in there, and like I said, they're just wandering around like everything is just fine. And I'm in there I'm wearing a pair of gloves at least. And I didn't want to touch that cart after 100 people that I didn't know where they'd been. And we're only like 40 miles from at least 2 cases of coronavirus. So, people run back and forth from where I live all the time, man, and it's just kind of goofy as far as I'm concerned that people aren't taking better care. But I was talking about my kids, and last weekend I told my son, I said, "What do you think about this virus?" He says, "Well, what is it, like the flu?" I said, immediately I knew he didn't have a clue what I was talking about, so I proceeded to try to kind of clue him in, and the more I talked, the more bored he got, and I'm telling you, it's crazy. This town that I live in, Tacoma, you're pretty close to some of the bad stuff up there, I think, as far as I can tell. Anyway, I saw my boy here this afternoon, and I said, by the way, and I was going to try to clue him in a little more, and he said, "No, Dad, I know it's bad, and I'm doing my best to take precautions." So that did make me feel better. Oklahoma is starting to ration water as of today. Mitchell Reese. Yeah, that's not a good thing. And that's one of the things where I live that I think has got people still asleep. As of yesterday, at least, you could buy anything and everything you wanted. I went to Walmart and I went to Aldi's, and both stores were completely stocked with everything that you could think of. I mean, they had plenty of toilet paper. I didn't look for any of the sanitizer, but I wouldn't be surprised by what they had it. And damn, it says they are shutting down schools for over a month. Well, that's another thing. I see people that are closing things down for like 2 weeks, and it makes no sense to me. This thing can live, well, as a matter of fact, you can get it and have it for at least 10 days, if not 2 weeks or more, and not have any symptoms. So, if you don't do it for at least a month, I think you've wasted your time. And they're just now, well, we got a school about 40 miles from here, and they had 2 cases in that school, and they shut it down, and they shut it down indefinitely, as far as I know. So I think that's the way to go, personally. And I saw that they'd shut down the basketball games and a bunch of other things, and it seems like people are beginning to kind of wake up and get serious about this thing. It's not been something that I don't think a lot of people even were giving much thought to. On spring break, they aren't sure when they'll reopen. Yeah, I don't know if yours did, but I saw where some of the schools were starting spring break a little early. So I think if they'd be smart if they just leave the schools closed for a while till this thing gets squared away. And when that's going to be, I couldn't tell you, man. It's one of those things that, well, originally when I was, everybody was talking about, well, let's do this and let's do that, and it's not all that bad and everything. I'm thinking, if you just see what happened in China, you know that the only way you're going to stop this thing is for people to stay home. Now, I know that people got to work, especially people that are in, work in hospitals and doctors and stuff like that. They got to work. But there just had to be a way for other people to try to stay at home and kind of take it easy. Mark, my buddy, I'm on Zoom. How would you like to come on and be my first guest on this new channel? I would be happy if you would. But anyway, this is, I think just now, as of yesterday maybe, some of the news stations and the president, at least to some degree, I like the guy. He's done a lot of things that I really enjoyed, but I don't think he's taking this thing serious enough, or he's trying to avoid panic, one or the other, or both. And I think occasionally that he gets some bad advice. Hello, Tyler. Good to see you, buddy. All right. We can bring Tyler up here too. Tyler, if you want to. I'm on Zoom, so I can bring you guys in. I don't know if I have your email address or not, but I can do a check. If you want to come up, you're welcome to. We'll see what's going on. I went ahead and came in on Zoom just in case anybody would happen by and want to come in and show their wonderful face this evening. We're already visiting with Dammits and Mitchell Reese. And, I was just blathering on. There you go. Man, what a picture. Whew. No, it's good. It really is. I don't know what camera you're using, but it sure is coming in clear and crystal clear. Yeah, it's working good for you today. You just go ahead. Yeah, I just, the people where I live, and it could be the same way where you're at, but I was telling these guys, I went to Walmart, and I went to Aldi's yesterday. I'm wearing a pair of gloves, and these people are looking at me like I'm crazy, and they're just wandering around like, there's nothing going on. Yeah, I can fix that. Yeah. Yeah, I can make you a mod in here. That's not a problem at all. No, I had no idea. Well, yeah, that was one of the things that they talked about originally. You don't have to worry about your kids, but this, I think the kids are starting to get it just maybe a week ago or so. So it definitely is not something to play with. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, I started out all by myself here, and yeah, it's been a long time since I. No kidding. Well, it's like I was saying a while ago. This thing is getting worse all the time. I mean, it just is. Trying to get you squared away here. It's been a while. Yeah, I don't exactly know. Uh-oh, man. Yeah, it's been too long, man. Yeah, yeah. We'll get it straightened out here in a second. It should be this one. And hope we can make this one work. No? Yeah, I invited Tyler in. I know I invited him in. Uh, man, not having a lot of luck here. I'm not really sure why either, unless because I'm getting infinity on every one of my desktops, and I'm not sure why. Anyway, um, yeah, it's a weird deal. I don't know. You guys were tested negative for the regular flu, is that right? Yeah. Well, yeah, they ought to. I don't get it really that they didn't test you. Oh, no kidding. So I'm sitting here. Oh gosh, guys. Um, yeah, I am definitely rusty for sure. Um, but I know it's something simple here, but I wonder. I wonder. I really do. This is not only embarrassing. This is kind of silly because I should be able to grab one of these Zoom meetings. Yeah, but it wants to go to infinity every time. Let's see here. Can't see you at all. That is weird. That's really weird. Well, let me. Yeah, we can give that a shot. We we can. I can always bring you in on VMix call, I guess. I'm going to. I will have that to you very soon here. Yeah, I really should have tested this, I guess, before. But it's one of those things. Things happen that way sometimes. La 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 la. Won't take but a minute. If anybody's still hanging in there, we appreciate that. There he is. And that should be what you need. Right there, and you should have it very quick. And I'll bring you in on a VMX call. And everybody can watch me. I've got a little thing set up here. I'll put you in that real quick. Yeah, I've got all kinds of stuff going on here. Can can you guys see that? See me twice, don't you? Yeah, I don't see that. That's the way the other one should have worked. I'm not sure why it didn't. You get that email yet? Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah, go right ahead. We're, yeah, this is funny. I got more stuff going on here than I really need. Let's get this back in here. And thanks a million, guys, for hanging in there. We're going to bring Mark in on a vmix call, and I'm going to put him in here beside me on this one. So we'll go with that, and we'll see what happens. We're hanging. Yeah, you're hanging. You guys are hanging. You got it. Can you kind of repeat what Mark said? I had no idea, guys. Yeah, you got to tell me what's going on, because I definitely get a little screwed up. You know, I used to do this all the time. And Mark, I'm getting ready to bring you in up here. You are, now I have audio. This will take only a second. This will take only a second. Yeah, we should. 39. Yeah. Oh, boy, we can see you good now.
Holy moly.
Look at you. Just look at you. Yeah. We'll just let everybody see what happens in the background before you get all squared away. Let me crank you down here a little bit. Move you over, set you in your little box here. And let's make you a little bigger, a little bigger, a little bigger. A little bigger. And then we'll bring it back here, just kind of like that. Bring it down just a little bit. Yeah. We're going to get there. They said they was hanging. They just didn't know how long they was going to have to hang, did they?
I gotta let my doggies out. I'll be right back.
Go right ahead. I'm going to tweak him into this box here, guys. Man, this is really silly. I have definitely taken too much time off, that's for sure. Let me put Mark's name in here. Yeah. We'll get that squared away. Then we'll get back to talking about the virus.
Oh, now you got my green. You gotta get my green screen fixed.
Oh, man. I forgot all about that. You're supposed to come in with the green screen, dude. Let me see. Hang on a minute. All right. Now we know who you are. And that thing's a little off kilter, too. I was playing with it a while ago. Now your green screen, your green screen.
Oh,
What am I going to do about your green screen?
just hit the Corona key.
Yeah, let's do that. We're going to get your green screen. Boom.
It's like doing news again.
Yeah. Well, I tried to do a chroma key on you here. And
Well, that's weird. You're right behind me.
yeah, you better watch out for me, man. You better watch out for me. I know why I'm behind you. I didn't get rid of me a while ago. Okay. Which one was that? You know, I might have had a stroke and didn't know it.
What?
Yeah, I may have had a stroke and didn't know it.
Really?
No, I'm just kidding. I just forgot how to do some of this stuff. What in the world is causing this, man? I don't. Let's go up here. That's where it's at, right there. Yeah, that's it. Boom.
Now I'm black.
Now you're black. Well, yeah, but I'm not supposed to put your green screen in behind you, am I?
Yeah. Here, let me jump. I don't think that'll. I'm not going to be able to because I'm using StreamYard, and I don't think vMix allows StreamYard.
Yeah. Remember, I always gave you a a chroma key with a black background. I thought.
Yeah, I can't use a. We'll see if it picks up my camera from. I don't think it's going to allow StreamYard. But we'll see here.
You may just have to be black. I don't know. Yeah, I'm off my game, Tyler. I'm definitely way off my game. It was Zoom that messed me up to start with. I had this all squared away.
Yeah, see, I don't have.
Well, yeah, but you see, the problem is I can't put a green screen in behind you. That's got to come from your end.
Yeah, I got the green screen behind me, but the only way. I'm gonna have to bounce out of here again and try to come back in. I think.
Yeah, out of StreamYard. I think StreamYard's what's messing it up.
I'm not in Stream. I'm in
Oh,
Streamlabs.
Streamlabs.
I'm,
Okay.
I'm giving you my normal camera without anything. So I'm gonna try to. I'm gonna go in here in my camera settings and try to
Yeah, you need to
do the
go ahead
green
and put your green screen in. And if you turn your green screen in on, you should be good. Now, what you guys, two seaters, welcome guys. What's up? Well, I'm out of practice and I got everything all screwed up here a little bit, but we're gonna make it work. Now, I wouldn't normally say this, but I think Mark's a little out of practice too.
It's only been 2 weeks. I'm used to running everything off on my end. I'm not used to stream on vMix anymore.
Right. Yeah, it makes a difference. But you should be able to throw a green screen right in there right now, though, I would have thought.
No, it's not picking up my. See, that was one of the things that I read. VMix is by itself, so the only one that has
So,
it is the old
uh,
OBS. So I'm gonna have to be black like this.
yeah, I've never been able to give you a green screen.
No, I
Uh,
usually take in there, I apply the green screen to you.
so anyway, yeah, yeah, what you're looking's not bad. So I, while you're, we got a couple of new people in there. While you're telling your story again about your family and the flu, I am going to try to.
Can everybody hear me now?
Everybody hears Mark okay? Give us a one or something there. If should be able to. I see. I see audio going out.
Because it is. It's you start talking and you get into these coughing fits, and that's Tyler wanted me to come up and do a live stream tonight too, and it's just hard to talk because you get into these coughing fits. But anyway, what happened is that we got uh, we got sick with the average everyday cold, so we thought, and when we went in, they tested us for influenza A, and we all came back negative. And with in a week's time, the three of us now the fourth one has been in and out of the emergency rooms and hospitals, high temperatures, and people are saying that by people I mean doctors, nurses, and everything else are telling us that we have the influenza A, but the tests have come back negative on each and every one of us. So the link that I put into the chat a while back ago is one of the European guys that got influenza or got the coronavirus and has been on lockdown for 40 days. If you listen to his story, it describes what we're going through to the T, from the different stages of this virus, the high temperatures, the flu-like symptoms without no puking, no anything like that, just from the snot running down the back of your throat, the uncontrollable temperatures that we got to keep in line, running ibuprofen and Tylenol, switching back and forth. One of us had to get over 3,000 milliliters of fluid pumped into us because we were so dehydrated that we couldn't do anything. The uncontrollable coughing, you can't stop until you're actually coughing up a little bit of blood because you broke some of your capillaries in your chest. So then they last couple days ago they diagnosed me with bronchitis. Also states in that guy's video that's the third or second stage to this coronavirus. It comes in, it starts as a cold, then it comes in as a strong flu, then it turns into bronchitis, then it turns into pneumonia. So what I can tell you guys is that there's more and more to this. What's now they're actually the tests are no longer giving the influenza. They're automatically with flu-like symptoms. They're giving you the corona test. So you're going to see the numbers shoot up drastically. Doesn't mean it just happened overnight. It's just now they're going to start to see the numbers come out accurate like they're supposed to be.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was expecting for the numbers to like double over over a 24-hour period, beginning about today. So
Yeah, it's gonna. When you start to see New York City has the official lockdown. They have areas that are completely locked down, and they have containment wards are being set up as you speak. What worried me today was I saw in the news that they're having and California just passed a law that they can't gather more than 250 people.
yeah,
Now, one of the biggest events in Wisconsin here was Canoe Catopia, which I was planning on going down to meet Tyler and a bunch of other YouTubers this weekend. It's the biggest event in the state of Wisconsin. They canceled it till next year, the day before the event was going to start. So they
yeah,
just they just made the call now that they're going to cancel it. This is actually very real. The best thing I can tell you guys to do is keep a lot of Tylenol and ibuprofen on hand and a lot of water because you're going to go through a lot of it.
Well,
And
what I would say for people like me that are able to stay at home, and I've been preaching this for ever since the whole thing started. Stay home if you can, and make sure that you've got enough, if you possibly can, to be able to stay at home and not have to go out for at least a month. And 6 weeks to 2 months would be better.
well, you're going to, I have a funny feeling you're going to see some more lockdowns. If you haven't heard, the NBA shut down their training season.
Yep.
Um, the White House is locked up tighter than a drum now. You've got senators that have confirmed cases in their cabinet of people being sick. Uh, it's all over, and it's not going to. I don't want to be a fear monger, and I don't want to do that or anything like that. But I'm just telling you from my experience, this thing is very, very, very difficult to beat. Nights are terrible because you're constantly up coughing, hacking. Um, it's not a fun thing at all. I told my grandma the same thing, like Merle said. She's got more than enough food and stuff in her house. I said, stay home, don't go anywhere. She stopped going to church because any place that you don't know where and who's been where or anything, and it's spreading, and people don't even realize it.
Oh,
I just
yeah.
thought today of how many times this last week and a half I've been in town running fevers and sick, and how many people I had contact with just by myself, even with a mask on. Um, and that doesn't even. Then I had to take the kid in to get his medicine and stuff like that, and then running back for the other ones. So you don't even realize who's got it. All you know is people might look a little bit pale. They're saying to stay away from people up to 7 feet. I'd push it back 10. If you
Yeah.
have to go into town, just make sure it's you're far enough away. Because when I was at Walmart to get my medication, everybody in that store was hacking.
Yeah. I don't know if your town is like mine, but mine is a little town, and these people here, I think they've got it in their head that nothing ever happens in Greencastle, and it's going to be all right here, and they're just going on about their business like everything's just great. So
Yeah,
I
Tyler just sent me an email at his groceries. His local store was completely out of toilet paper, and now they're putting a limit to the amount of water that they're allowing to come out of there. If this is just the start of things. I mean, last month we decided we were going to start to order stuff right off of Walmart.com. That way we didn't have to go to the store for the some of the stuff that we missed at. But I'm telling you guys, this thing is terrible.
Yeah, it's so different from place to place. Like I was telling these guys a while ago, it in my town there was nothing that I couldn't find that I wanted. I mean, we've got everything. We've got everything that the Walmart and the Aldi stores has ever had. So I think that's kind of throwing people off a little bit here too. But I also heard from a fairly good source that we are our Aldi store was not expecting to get anything else in for quite some time. I don't know what the deal is with that.
Well, they're putting the binders on. I just got a message here. Actually, I got a few different ones that I was sending everybody. Um, the coronavirus can hold on a steel surface for a couple days. Um, it can be on packages, all kinds of different stuff. So one of the things that see if I can find that one.
And I understand, or at least what I've been told, is that it after if you get the droplets on something, a piece of metal or a piece of plastic or whatever, that it will die within 10, 15, or 20 minutes. Well, I don't know that I would trust that, but that's what they
No,
have.
I just had something come across my news feed here, and they're saying it can stay on something for 24 hours. Hang on a second.
Go ahead. So anyway, it seems to me like the whole thing is changing overnight, at least in some areas. Some of you guys that have been in areas that were already, kind of awake and people knew what was going on. You guys are okay, to at least to some degree, but this, there's so many people out here that still don't know. They need to be really super careful. Mary, I don't know if I said hello, and if you are still in here, yeah, you are. Uh, thank you. Thank you
Sweet.
so much for coming in. And Mary says Indiana restricting travel to other states. I didn't, I didn't know that. I am Indiana as well, and all gatherings over 250 are canceled. Yeah, not sure
Yep.
that's enough, but it's a start.
Well, you're going to start to see now. They're going to really push the effect. He used the words "martial" in his state to the speech to the United States here. Um, if they can't contain it, they're going to make sure that everybody stays home as much as they possibly can. Because the one thing that one of the I was listening to one of the doctors talk about, if it's a slow process, a slow infeed, the hospitals can handle it. But if you got this big peak where you got this big rush, that's when people at the hospitals ain't going to be able to take everybody in, and then you got the triage that's going to come in effect, which means the worst off people are going to be set off to the side, and the people that have a chance is the ones they're going to work on.
Yeah, it. I fully expect, absolutely fully expect, all the hospitals to be overwhelmed. And I've got a daughter that works at a local hospital here, and it just worries me to death. And I took care of that, Mitchell. I just forgot. I would have done that anyway. And two-seaters, too.
So yeah, I've been really lacking on my video editing, but I have not been feeling at my top notch. That's for sure.
Yeah, what a deal. No kidding. Last I talked to you, you said that your daughter and one of the boys had the type A. And I thought, well, it's, yeah, not something that you can't deal with there. But are you expecting to get a COVID-19 test soon?
I think I skated through it because if you get the COVID-19 test, then you're on the CDC's radar. Uh, so I'm actually glad that I just got the uh, influenza test and it came back negative. But then with the doctors and everything telling me that you have influenza A, you have influenza A, you have all the signs, and I listened to that guy from England that has COVID-19, and I'm
Right.
almost betting my bottom dollar that we have it.
Well, you tested negative
But
for the
if you
flu,
have
right?
what?
Tested negative for the regular type A flu, right?
Right. Froze up.
Yeah, I wonder what happened there.
Oh, there we go.
Uh,
Um, it could be a lot of different things. All I know is that what that guy said and what I have and what my whole family's been going through, it's exactly the same. And the stages that it comes in a ripple effect. You think you get over one, and then the next stage hits you, and it's worse than the last one. Um, Mama just said she just broke again. She's running real high fevers again. So it's this is how this thing works. And if your immune system is down and can't handle it, and you can't get to uh, Can't get your temperature down, you'll start burning up.
Yeah, what we've been doing here is we've been cramming the vitamin C and the vitamin D, all all the stuff that you would want to, try to keep your immune system coming. But thanks, Mitchell. Um, but
That's the
our
one thing
biggest,
that's the hardest thing is you don't, uh, when you're sick, you don't want to drink. You definitely, I've been feeding them applesauce, some of our homemade applesauce, just to try to get something in there in your bodies to help you get some
yeah,
kind of energy to do something.
you may not want it, but boy, you got to keep those fluids flowing. Really do.
Infants, if you have children under the age of 12, children's ibuprofen, I got children's Tylenol and ibuprofen for Hunter. Stock up on that. That is a huge plus to that. The diet, the thing it is now is if you're listed under with the coronavirus and you become part of that whole thing. If there is something where they come along and they want to put you in some kind of isolation or something like that and pull you out of your home, I think I'd rather not be on that list.
I agree, and that's something
So,
that I had not given any thought to. So, I'm glad you brought that up. Karma Ghost, welcome. This is, I got to tell some of you maybe, um, I haven't been on the live stream for quite some time, especially with Zoom, and you forget some of the stuff that you need to do to get squared away. Ordinarily, I would have spent some time to get it all set up, but it's one of those things. Anyway, Mark and his family have got some kind of flu that could very well be the bad kind, and we want prayers to go up for them and fight this thing off. That's
it's a it's nasty. I'll say that, and I've been thanking everybody that has been on our side there with their thoughts and their prayers, keeping my family in there. That's been an awesome blessing all the way. Because it is, senior kids or anybody sick like this that the problem is that you're just so wore out. You have zero energy. It takes everything I have just to go out and feed the chickens, and I've got the food out there. So the 10 minutes that it takes me to go out and feed animals in the morning, I'm completely burnt. I got to rest for a couple hours.
yeah,
It's
no kidding. It doesn't take a lot to really pull that stuff out of you.
no,
Um,
it's something else.
Rick MacGyver, welcome. I mean, I know almost all these names. I know almost every one of them from being on other people's channels, and
They look all kind
I
of new to me.
and I'm getting some. Well, this is a result of spending some time on the Merle Dixon channel. For those of you that don't know, I was on the Micro Homesteader channel for what, about 3 years, Mark, or something like that, and we did a show about every
Yep.
Saturday. And while you're at it, if you're able, go ahead and do a little advertising about your 7-day challenge out in the cold, which probably didn't do your flu any good.
Actually, we felt really good with that. I think when we came back, um, it must have hit us. We have one of the boys is in high school. Could have got it there. Where I work, they just finished a new building. We had a lot of people coming in to look at the new building. We had military in there. We had some investors, all kinds of stuff. So I could have picked it up anywhere. But we just came back at the end of the March here. Tyler's still in here. I don't know if he is or not. We did a 7-day extreme winter challenge in northern Wisconsin, 3 guys. And we stayed out in minus 15 and minus 30-degree weather for 7 days. And it was a learning experience to say the most. Very enjoyable. Would I do it again? I probably would. It was a lot better. Uh,
Yeah,
he
my,
gave me a
and
test.
Mitchell just put your channel URL in there for everybody to go take a look.
Yeah, it was a challenging experience for most of my equipment. Most of my equipment got a beating. Um, a lot of my electronics took a beating, but they all came back in one piece. So I didn't get to show you this, Merle, but I did break down, and I actually purchased a prime 24 millimeter prime lens. This is 1x8 now. So now I have the good prime lens.
Yeah, it's a good lens, and it's a good number too. The 24 is going to do you lots of good.
Yeah. So I got to learn. I got a fast paced lesson in photographs and cameras and settings and stuff like that. So I got to learn about my camera. Um, got to try out some new gear. I got a lifelong sponsor out of the deal, which was really cool. Black and White Fire Starters saved their butt out there, and I became good friends with them now. And they're actually starting a lineup with me and Tyler with our pictures, and they're gonna show it off for an extreme. They're making a package up calling Extreme Black and White Fire Starter, and it's going to be around me and Tyler and Justin's experience out there. So that's kind of cool.
Well, that's great. That is.
Yeah,
That is really super.
he wants to get together. We're going to have our own camping and cooking products that are going to come along with this also. So, but as soon as all the stuff started coming up and we started talking about it, I got sick. So,
Yeah, that's the bad thing. I don't know. I've been going around here trying to make my family understand how bad what is going on, and I think my situation is a little bit like the boy that cried wolf. I've tried to get my kids and some of my family to understand some things that a lot of us know, but
lay down,
they still
Merle.
haven't been able to understand what's going on yet. And then when I told them about this, they just thought, well, yeah, that's just one other thing. So, but before you came in, I talked to my son today, and he said, yeah, Dad. He said, I understand what's going on now. And he said, you and Mom stay home. And I said, yeah, we're going to. We've got everything that we need to be in here for at least probably 6 weeks or maybe 2 months before we even begin to miss something. So we're good to go.
What Tyler just told me too that I didn't know is your pets can be affected by this stupid thing too.
Yeah, they can get it, but I'm told now you don't know what to believe. Your pets can get it, but they say that you can't catch it from your pets. So I don't know how that works, but it's kind of crazy.
Yeah, if you're the best thing I could tell you to do is get educated because and you're not going to be educated by Fox. Oops, not where I say that. The local news and your normal outlets. You have to go and do some research on YouTube and check out some of these people. We go to
Yeah.
Marfugal News. New York Prepper's another good one. I sent Tyler over there about 2 weeks ago, and he says he's just blown away by what the guy's saying. It is 100% serious and it's 100% real. And uh, I'm like Merle. I don't go to the doctor. I do all my own remedies. I make 90% of my own medication here, and none of the stuff that I have touched this. And then that's from eating. We make our own apple cider vinegar. We have our own garlic tinctures. We have everything. Um, and I could not keep it at bay. It
Yeah.
came on like a whirlwind, and
That really surprises me a bit for you to be as fit as you are, and for it to jump in like that. Uh,
well, I was thinking about that, and that could have been perfect storm because we spent 7 days in below zero temperatures. So that was pretty hard on our body to begin with, and then
yeah.
come home, and then you're right back into the full pace of things again. So I think it just was the perfect storm, and we were fighting it for a long time because we were coughing, hacking for a while, but it wasn't anything out of the ordinary. Just thinking, oh, it's a little cold. And if I look back now, I think if we would have been doing what we were doing with the apple cider vinegar, the chaga, the garlic tinctures and stuff like that, we probably would have been a lot worse off than what we are.
Yeah, it's kind of like one of those things. Everything just had to be just right for you guys to get it because you take such good care of yourselves. Uh,
Yeah,
for those of you that don't know two seaters, Dave, and I'll read it. I'm being super careful, having just went through radiation therapy. My immune system is shot to hell, and I broke a tooth off, and now I'm loaded down with antibiotics, which is not helping your immune system either. So I don't need anything else. Yeah, we wish you the best, Dave, and we
Dave,
got a
if you
lot.
can do it, if you're looking for some probiotics, make yourself some um, fermented cabbage. It's 5 times more potent than the antibiotics you can buy in a store in that jar.
Yeah, and two, Mark, these every one of these people in the chat right now, they're awoke and know exactly what's going on. Not to say that we
Right.
can't help one another, but
You guys go over there, check my channel, leave a message over there. I will certainly come by and check you guys out. Um, we've got a lot of stuff, a lot of fun things planned for the year. Like I guess, like Merle is, I don't abide by what I'm told. Uh, I can see through the cracks like everybody else can. So um,
well, I tell you, we
I
we
knew that was
sure
coming.
we sure wish you the best. Absolutely do. We've got about 5 more minutes, and I would like to use them. Vern is coming on at 8:30, if I'm not mistaken. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong. And I don't want to keep you guys from going to his. It's Vern's Prepping and Survival, I believe it is.
I'll
So I
throw
don't
my
want to keep
link in.
keep you
Somebody
guys.
asked me for my
Oh,
link.
oh yeah. Rick MacGyver says he likes your channel. A lot of good stuff
There
there.
you guys go.
There is a bunch of good stuff there for sure. Mark's got a great channel. Yeah, he does. He really does. And it's probably only going to get better from what I can tell. No kidding. I'll have everything. I just came in here and turned everything on this evening, and I looked, and there wasn't anybody else doing anything. I said, "Well, I'm just going to do it, if anybody shows up or not." So this is
I called you before, and I'm like, I'm going to call Merle again after I got everything taken care of. And I came on and I saw you were on. I'm like, oh, I told Tyler, I said, Merle's on.
yeah, yeah. It was not planned. Well, you could tell that. No, I just kind of turned everything on and said, "Well, I'm going to do it and see what happens." But yeah, I'm glad you came up, and wife said that you had called, and I thought, well, I'll probably see him on the internet here in a little bit because I took a nap and I'll probably be up half tonight. So, are you doing
Yeah,
a?
I'm probably gonna go live later to explain to. I've been gone for 2 weeks. Explain to my crew on my side of things what's going on and give them a little bit more of a heads up. Um,
What do you think about 10 o'clock at 9 o'clock or something like that? You don't know?
I'm thinking around probably in about an hour and a half, probably 8:30 or so. Hey,
Okay.
no, there's a channel I haven't seen in a long time. Angry Pirate News, brother. How's it going?
Yeah, and that's another one that I would highly recommend you guys. He's just like us. And he talks a lot like us too. Yeah. Hey, Brother Mitch, he says, you're in all the live chats. Yeah, Mitch, he does get around, that's for sure. He's a lot of help in here,
You
too.
know, I really didn't think that I would ever. I was probably like 90% of the people that are out in the world thought I'm healthy. I'll never get the coronavirus. Uh, that won't affect me any. And I went around doing the things like I normally would do. And let me tell you, when it took me a little bit to figure out and to come down to back to my senses and like, okay, now we got to deal with this thing. And if I can give you guys any word of advice, is to take the precautions beforehand because you don't want to have to deal with it later on. It is
Well,
terrible.
we just got kicked off, and I don't know why.
We just
40,
got kicked off.
yeah, Zoom kicked us off on a pro
We're not.
account.
We're not. We're not on Zoom though.
Oh, that's right. Okay, yeah.
It kicked you off because you're idle. You didn't
Yeah, I
have anything
know.
going on.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I was actually watching you on Zoom. Anyway, well, it's it's all bad business everywhere as far as I can tell. We're uh, I heard him say that one guy said we're 10 days away from what it's like in Italy, and it's really bad in Italy. And and I
Yeah,
heard somebody else say we're like 4 or 5 days off. I think we're probably 10 days to 2 weeks to till we get it as bad as Italy and some of the other countries have had it, and it's not going to get
angry
any.
pirate. I can't say 100% because I didn't get the test, but I did. There's a guy out there that I was watching from um, England or something. Describes that he's been in quarantine now for 40 days. Described everything that I'm going through. My whole family's going through for to the T. I was tested for influenza A. My whole family was tested for influenza A, and it came back negative. And we are all in that time frame. And all the doctors are saying you have influenza A, you have influenza A, and but the test came back negative. But the high fevers and the stages that guy describes, you go through a normal cold, then it turns into the flu, then it turns into bronchitis, then it turns into pneumonia. The high temperatures, um, the the headaches are, you can't even explain the headaches. I think these are worse than migraines. At the back of your head and behind your eye sockets, and the nights are just terrible because all you're doing all night long is coughing and hacking. So
Yeah,
I don't know if 100% sure because I was not tested, and now with everything going on with these quarantines, I'm kind of glad that I slipped through. Tyler brought up a
yeah,
good point, Merle, that kind of made me a little bit nervous. Is he said, "What happens when they go back and look at records for everybody that's been in the hospital for the last month? Then we could get
yeah,
into some trouble."
yeah. I know. I think that's maybe the least thing you need to be worried about right now, though. Kind of just get better quick as you can,
Yeah,
and keep those fluids afloat. I'm going to have to jump out of here because I know, about all these people that are in here with us now are going to go over and see Vern. So, hey, I'm glad I got to see you. I hate it that you had such bad news, and I'll be in I'll be in on your video when you get ready to stick it up in a little bit. So take care,
yeah.
everybody, and it was good to see you, Mark.
Take
We'll
care, all.
we'll see you next time.